Alrighty, hi there everyone. Hopefully it's working and I'm online and the whole 9 yards. All right, yeah, yet again, I don't know how long I'm going to be on for and whatnot, and I'll wait for a few people to pop on before I start doing any of the history heroes thingamajig. And I don't really have much of a picture, like a picture slideshow thing, though, but I do have some pictures that I would like to show. I think it's actually primarily for when we start talking about trenches, and it's mostly about it's just my notes, but there's a few things later on. Oh, good morning, William Arends. Great to see you. Hello from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, William Arends says. And also, William Arends, on a side note, I just, because I keep forgetting to mention it to you, but it's neat. Like I said, when, people are, made comments like you were talking about your mom and what, good morning, Meandering Mike, greetings, everyone, he says, and good morning, Charles Latora, great to see you. What I was saying, and I guess I can start the History Heroes thing now. Anyways, what I was going to say to you, William Arends, is it's amazing how just, constantly the conversation back and forth with you guys, how it helps shape my thinking later on about, how to proceed strategically with the war, or like my war, or how to start looking at different things. Like it's just neat because, I mean, you've got from your upbringing and whatnot, much more information, I would say visceral information of, let's say from the German perspective, that type of thing. And that to me is just really cool. So yeah, I wanted to go over trenches and whatnot. We'll start off with the History Heroes thing. Meandering Mike, for goodness sakes, I hope at some point, I'm not saying now, and maybe we'll have to do it at a time that's better for you, like you're more wide awake or whatever. I'm not really sure, because you're kind of like me. I think we all are, in a weird way, sleep deprived. So maybe there's no such thing as you ever being more wide awake or whatever. But I would love to, and maybe even other people, I don't know, but I would love to actually have a proper live, not just me, this one-way stream of the video and audio kind of thing, about talking about Der Weltkrieg, like when you were mentioning there in your AAR, going, I'm not happy with this combat system. There's a lot of things, like you liked some things and didn't like other things. I'm like, I really want to talk properly about that type of stuff. It's just a big thing to talk about. Anyways, let's go off to the History Heroes thing. This, I'm going to be fascinated to see if anybody picks this up relatively quickly. I'll just be blown away. What else did I want to say? William Arends, I still don't, I'm not sure if you have mentioned, and it just hasn't clicked into my head, but because I know what Meandering, actually, I don't know what Meandering Mike's up to next. Well, he's going to be doing this Santiago campaign magazine game soon, but I don't know if that's going to be what he's actually going to be playing right off the bat kind of thing. And Charles, I know what you're up to, but you still have some stuff on the table. It's not just your graveyard thing. Okay, I'm going to, like I said, when I saw this week's History Heroes thing, I was like, oh boy, it's going to be fascinating to see what goes on there. And I think most of this right now is just going to be, like I said, I'd like to talk about trenches, what I did have seen about a bit about it, what you guys think, because there's a couple of things I don't understand. It's either there's going to be some massive ramifications due to, especially I think it's the stiffened defense. They don't actually, he doesn't, or the rules don't actually, they just use the phrase. And part of me is like, I don't know why they don't actually use it as a proper phrase, because it's important. And especially when later on they use solid defense, which is a phrase they use for when you need a certain amount of artillery to hit some units that are of certain strength points and are in a trench. Meandering Mike says, I'm reading the rules to Santiago campaign. Did some painting last night. Awesome. Thank you for mentioning that as well. If there's nobody on tonight, guys, live stream wise, so please let me know if there's obviously, like I said again, I'm never going to cross streams or whatever. But if there's no one on, I'm just going to put on. I'm going to slap on whatever. It's obviously not going to be entertainment value oriented. I'm just going to hang out, as in I'll have my camera on, and if you guys want to pop on and say hello and even steal the camera or share it, you're all by all means do it. But that would be, I mean, I just like Meandering Mike was mentioning, it's nice to yeah, it's infectious to hang out with other gamers, you know, and go, hey, you know, this, that, and the other thing. All right, so let me pop on the I'll pop on the first clue. Actually, I don't know why in the world, we're going to go off to it soon. So I'll put on the banner, the first one, and we'll see what you guys think of this one. And I'll pop it into the comments as well. I can't read it right now, so hold on here. So, yeah, Willie Merritt. So what are you up to playing wise? I hope Harro Bosma pops by later, because I wanted to talk about, well, we're still going to talk about it when we go to BGG, but Paths of Glory. I don't know. It's one, like, I've never played it. I just constantly hear that it's an amazing game. And I often wonder, oh yeah, I wanted to go to the History Heroes thing. And so I can pop in the first clue. So I was the first British and Commonwealth soldier to be killed in World War I. Charles Latora says, got my Spanish-American War fix with Legion's A Splendid Little War. Ooh. All right. There. I'm going to pop that in. So that's your first clue, and I have it in the banner. And now we're going to go straight. Geez, what the hell did I just do there? You guys still there, I hope? Did I do something funky? Oh, that's right. I just can't see the comments. Okay, God, I was getting scared. I thought I had killed you guys. I did write down so I can hopefully go one after the other. Oh, by the way, this is just a quick thing. I am working on the crossword, believe it or not. This would be the first time I wouldn't use any software or anything. So I'm arranging the whatevers. However, I did find out that to make a proper crossword, I don't even think the software is doing it right. As in, it has to be like it's the shape and whatnot. But I think it's just due to the fact I'm doing so few words. This one is 11 words. It's just because it's completely from scratch. So I've been trying to come up with interesting, well, they're not very interesting, but they're easy clues, but what can I do? But that's the problem with the way I've structured the crossword is they were saying what you're trying to do with crosswords is make it so that way if somebody's having a hard time with one word, they have multiple ways to get around. And of course, the way I've had it like kind of like a weird ladder, it doesn't work out very nicely that way. Okay, I'm going to give you another clue since this one didn't seem to snap you guys right away. So I'll pop that one in there. So I was trained to be a reconnaissance cyclist to bring back information about the Germans. And I'll put that in the comments, and then we'll go to some stuff. I think we're good. I hope you don't mind, guys. We're going to go to the I'd like to share the screen for we'll go to the World War I news thing, because I wanted to take a look at well, I wanted to show you guys what's going on. Their new open what the heck, let's just go straight to it. Here I am talking about it, and we can go and see. All right, so there we go. You guys can see that. Look at that. Is that what they call cubism? Those horses, I think. But so that's going to be some kind of new thing. Oh my gosh, look at that. The Knight-Rite or Knit-Rite thing seems so neat. I would really like to go there. And then the Guy Burgess thing, I don't know what, but it's this thing here. Let's go to the gas warfare thingamabob. I wanted to take a look at that. This would be rather interesting to go go see. And it's free, and it's on Sunday from 10 to 3. Oh yes, it's this thing I wanted to show you guys too, that there's these people, the Living History Volunteer Corps, and my oh my, look at that Russian guy in the middle. He looks totally cool. Behind you, that French soldier up in the foreground, he looks mega serious. Holy moly. But yeah, I wanted to show you that. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I'm going to pop me back here. Oh my God, William Arends, how the hell did you do that? Unflippin' believable. Yep, William Arends got it. Charles Latora, darn, I know I've seen his name recently, but my brain can't remember. Holy cow, you guys are awesome. Like I said, I didn't know. This was, for me, a hit and miss, wondering whether or not you guys were going to, well, I'm going to get rid of the banner because I don't need to show that anymore, but we're going to go to the picture. Holy jeepers, that's impressive. Well, both of you is actually John Parr as well. I didn't, I mean, Charles Latora, I didn't expect that. Wow. Okay, I'm going to show up the picture here. So I've got it as a window, and then we can go take a look at all the rest of the, holy jeez. And there's not many left, guys. That blows me away that there's not, we don't have too many cards left to go. So I don't know what in the world we're going to do there. Okay, so hide that. So I think, oh, Jesus, sorry about that, guys. Where the hell are we now? I have to go, I don't know which way we're going. Nope. 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 Where were we? Hold on. There we go. John Parr. Oh my God. I have to see what you guys can see first. Hold on. All right. Now I have to get rid of me. There. So you guys can see. Perfect. All right. And then I'll just read it out and hopefully you guys can see it. Actually, I think it was I have to do the view display options, fit image to the width. I think that helps you. That didn't seem to do much. Okay, I was the first British and Commonwealth soldier to be killed in World War I. I landed at Boulogne on the 14th of August and died at the front on the 21st of August, 1914. I trained to be a reconnaissance cyclist to bring back information about the Germans. Number 4, I died under enemy fire, holding Germans back while my fellow cyclists escaped. I joined the army in 1913. I must have lied about my age, as I was only 15 then. My mother did not know where I was for a year, as I was only reported dead in 1915. And the Joker fact is my grave faces George Ellison, the last British soldier killed in World War I on the 11th of November, 1918. All right, so I'm back to here. Yeah, I'm going to give you some points, Charles, because you obviously seem to have known. On a side note, when I was at, and I did ironic. Well, it's not ironic, but I actually scared one of the cashiers, sadly, at the hobby store. Just as I was about to leave, I turned to the I turned off to the side, and they had like a little carousel of playing deck cards, and I looked over, and they had World War I, the Great War thing, and I screamed, and. Anyways, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but they're just absolutely amazing. And you can see just it's a bunch of posters and whatnots. I usually don't into that type of stuff if I just wanted to play cards, but it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get that thing. Okay, so we got that one, and we're going to go straight off to Board Game Geek and take a look at. Like I said, I like trying to find some kind of random game of the week and seeing if you guys know anything about it and fill me in. And then that slid into with Harro Bosma. Hold on here. I'll go straight to the. So we'll go to the share screen, Microsoft Edge tab. Is it that one I want? Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to go straight to BGG. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this guy, and we're going to go straight to BGG. All right. And you guys can see that. Awesome. And it's just the screen. Great. So the random game that I picked this week was Red Poppies campaign. Sorry, I'm just going to make this a bit smaller for me. So hopefully that's still. Please let me know if you guys find this too small. Like I don't know what you guys. Like if there's all that empty space there, it's just because I'm trying to also be able to see. Like I said, I'm not got two screens at once kind of thing going on here. So if you guys know anything about this game, I'd really like to know. This is interesting. Let's go to the images. And again, like I said, if it's too small, please let me know. I think I'm not allowed. Oh, goody. Okay, I can go to the next ones. Oh, I found this really some really nice pictures. here. And there was one picture I thought was, I can't remember his name. I'm sure you guys will. But I don't know what all these, like those interesting arrows mean. But don't you guys think that some of those counters look really neat? The like these micro formations of infantry or something. I just think that's neat. I'd like to know what's up with that. Yeah, it just looks really neat. And look at that, the trench marker things. And I love the way they have it set up that, you know, before you take it off, and there's all, yeah, I have no idea. I'm assuming this looks very tactical oriented or something. So yeah, if you guys know anything about this game, I'd love to know. I'd like to hear about it. Some pretty neat stuff. And I'm sorry, I mean, you can see where people could probably pilfer this. I mean, look at that. If you wanted to play, make your own entrenching markers, you can just use the, you know, print that off and do it for yourself. Aha, we're going to go up into someone you guys know. I can't remember this person's name. The armchair dragoon person. Is that, this looks like the one of those GMT warehouse things. I'm assuming, I don't know, but it's a Compass game. So, but as far as I know, Compass, I mean, GMT is not, they're not like anti whatever about people playing other games at their thing, I think. Who the heck is that person? I can't remember. You guys know it. He was a Grognard of the Year award or something like that. He's got Tabletop Simulator. He does all kinds of Napoleonic stuff. So that's him. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think about it. Maybe it's just I need to get used to it. I'm still having a hard time with maps that have that the hex lines are not completely filled in. I know it's just something I just need to get used to. I'm just having I don't know why I have a hard time with them. It's weird. Like I guess part of my brain is thinking they probably made it that way, you know what I mean? Like less clutter, but in a weird way, I find it more cluttering because it's distracting for me. Like I said, I'll just probably have to get used to it. But look at the creeping barrage things. It's really neat. I wonder, well, yeah, it didn't look like it was a massive complexity. But that looks nice. I wonder who did the map. That's got that kind of, who's that guy? Rick Bergman or Rick Berg or something guy? There it is. Designed by John Gorkowski. Game Empire. Carl Creeder. That's it. Thank you, Meandering Mike. You did it, man. That's it. Oh my God. Earlier this morning, I was thinking it was something with a K and it was driving me up the tree. But that's interesting. That looks really nice from that. I like that angle. At first, I was like when I look here, I'm like, I don't know if the War Game Boot Camp. Thank you, Meandering Mike. Oh, so you think this is what this is here? This thing, where he's from, doing this bit here? I don't know if we're going to go through them all, but I did want to. Anyways, that's. Oh my! Look at that. Oh, on a side note, I found out when I was at the hobby store today, or yesterday, sorry. And then we will go back to BGG in a second. They were showing me their, they have like a train layout. They're having their 70th anniversary on September 30th. So hopefully I'll bring my camcorder and go over. It would be great to see. Supposedly they're trying to get a hold of all of old staff and a lot of the old customers and see the hell's still alive kind of thing. But anyways, I guess this is pretty common knowledge maybe to many people. But they actually went, there's some company and they actually got, they sent off their pictures or whatever and got 3D printed little figurines of themselves. So they have themselves in the thing. And I was like, wow, that would be interesting. Because I know that, for example, Dan Pancaldi has a counter. for some game. I don't know what company or whatever, but I know that he has something like that. William Arends, Compass allows game products of other companies at their con as well. They and GMT are interested in expanding the hobby beyond their own games. Oh, thanks for letting me know. So they're not, oh, that's nice to know. Meandering Mike, that is at Game Empire, a store. Okay, wow. How the hell do you know that is beyond me, man? Impressive. Okay, so that was it. The Red Poppies campaign battles, the battles for Ypres. And let's go back to the BGG thing, and then hopefully we can chit chat about the trenches stuff, because there's a bit of a couple of head scratchers for me, and I'm not sure if it's what's probably a combination of the wording of the rules and me not just clicking in. And with having you guys here, you guys can go, no, this is what it probably means, or yeah, that seems a bit odd, is what I'm hopeful for. And there's a few other beautiful little links I wanted to show you guys. One, oh my God, guys, I had no idea. You know what? The BGG thing can kind of wait, because it's just about Paths of Glory. Meandering Mike says, sign on the wall at the back. Ah! Lord have mercy. Oh my God. I got to show them to you. I nearly had a heart attack. So I have to go to the links. Hold on, I have to grab my links. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to go to this one first. I have them all here, but it's just I just want to show. Just want to share so many things with you. And perhaps you guys are interested. I have to grab my keyboard. So this guy, this was sent to me. I don't think I sent it to you guys. Yeah, Charles, good eyes, Mike. There we go. I'll show it to you once there. So this is due to the fact of my colleague. I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he does dioramas, and so he sent me this link of this person, and I'm going to show it to you. And this person made some Corsair planes out of aluminum at 1:72 scale. And when I mean he made them, not screwing around, made them, like jaw-dropping. So hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, a retired dentist turns his skills towards aluminum aircraft models. And like I said, I hope to God you guys can see that. So that's him at 1:72 scale. There's no point in me trying to bring the picture up anymore. It supposedly, like, you can move you can move stuff. But anyways, I've got it in the sources. No, I did not attach it yet. So at the end of the stream, I will go to YouTube and pop it in, all these sources and links. But supposedly, like, you can move the propeller, like everything. You can move the wheels, the whole 9 yards. But this guy is jaw-dropping. Like, come on. This sounds like you've got to be Joe. Anyways, and then he goes into here. He has like a little autobiography later, so you can find out about more of his techniques. And look at that. My, oh my. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Is that impressive or what? I mean, when I see this stuff, I'm just like, that's when I go, yeah, if you think you're really into your hobby, Chris. Holy Lord Lifton. My God. I hope this guy has a beautiful eternity. He died in 2013. Wow. Look at that. Jesus. It's just hard to believe. Look at that. All right, so I got that off my chest. I'm so glad they finally get to show it to you guys. Yeah, because I'm pretty darn sure I didn't show that to you last week. Now, hold on. I'm just going to just grab some more links. This guy, have you guys heard of this guy? I'm going to have to show you his picture first. His name is Alexander Kozakov. Hold on. I'll go and get his. I'll go and get the links. So this lunatic, I'm sorry, I'm going to call him a lunatic, was a Russian war ace, air ace or whatever, and used a grappling hook, people, a grappling hook. to attach to another airplane, and then supposedly used his landing wheels to bash the pilot in. Or something bizarre. Oh my God. So here he is. And I'm going to show you. So yeah, it's just a fantastic thing to read about. Look at this. The damned anchor got caught and was dangling under the bottom of the enemy plane. So I just decided to strike across the upper surface of the albatross with the undercarriage of my plane. I pushed the elevator down and collided. Oh my God. Anyways, I'll show you the picture here. The picture of his, so you can see what he looks like. I wish I could show you the picture that I did have of him, due to the like the earlier picture, because he's got is a picture of him beside a broken propeller, and I think it must be from that the plane that he nailed. Just like, Lord have mercy. Then I find out later on from reading that it was like, yeah, a fair amount of people actually did ram their planes with other people because they really didn't have much of a choice. So hold on, I think I did this right. Now I'll share that picture here. So at least you guys can see what he looks like. There we go. And there he is. I think he lasted long enough. Like I think after the war, he was fighting against the Bolsheviks or something. That's just on a side note. But at least you guys got to take a look at him. And then we'll go back to some nice little links, I hope. I would like to show you. Hold on. But I was just like, you've got to be flipping kidding me. Like, I can't believe somebody would actually, but yeah, like from what I was reading afterwards, that was like, well, sometimes if you, that was maybe your only chance or choice was to ram the other plane. You ran out of ammunition, or the other thing, like you were just like a scout plane or reconnaissance plane or something. And now, why did I want to show you? Oh, maybe this is the, no, it's not the Airfix dioramas. We're going to go there soon. I nearly had a heart attack when I saw them. So this, and hopefully, John Longshore, great to see you. I thought they carried a pistol or at least a brick. Yeah, it was neat to start reading up on that type of stuff at first. Hold on, I'm going to share the screen. I have no idea why I'm here, but we'll find out. Darn it. It was something interesting. What in the world was I trying to show here that this guy had? I think it was just that guy. It was a nice place to show you guys, actually. And like I said, I'll pop this in the links. But I just enjoyed this guy's paint jobs, and that he was had a lot of interesting stuff over here, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested in seeing it. Yes, John Longshore, they certainly did start off with that, and away they went. They were yeah, it's just amazing to hear. But when I found out about the grappling hook, I was just like a little anchor and everything. Oh my God. Okay, so this, what else did I want to show you that I thought was kind of, oh yes, it's the Airfix dioramas. Oh my God. And it seems like I can maybe reissue, or like some of them are fairly early, and Airfix seems to be really cranking out the, aha! So you guys can see this. So this is again at coming from Plastic Soldier Review, and these are all these Airfix battle sets and dioramas that they had. I don't know if you guys knew about them. I had no idea. I know that Zvezda has some. I saw a few today, yesterday when I was at the hobby store. But Jesus, I mean, good God, this is incredible. Yeah, I don't know if that how. Okay, so it did show the picture. Oh, you don't get to see that one. I'd have to do whatever. But maybe we won't have to. At least you can see all the different ones. But you're going to see where I started getting my willies. I started losing my marbles. Is we start getting to it pretty soon. But also, like for you too, Charles. I know that Charles Latora. I know that you like you're into this type of stuff as well. So more towards the World War II stuff. But look at all the different dioramas they had. Just mind-boggling. But supposedly they were reissuing some, especially for the 100th anniversary of World War I, and that's why I was like, "Oh my God, you've got to be flipping kidding me!" I think maybe this is why I found that other site was this guy had done some of these things. Maybe that's where I was getting his whatevers. But wow, look, there's even a Waterloo one. Come on, now we're into the beautiful land. Look at that. I don't know if, yeah, it's not gonna. You get the idea. But I don't want to go into the whole thing. But my, oh my. Look, even somehow come with the paints. That's so cool. But there's a Western Front one. The first, like, there's not just, one World War I one. Holy moly. Wonder how much these would cost now. Probably a freaking fortune. Like I said, some of these I think only came out around, obviously around 2013, 2014, that type of thing. But that would be kind of, I'd love to look at that. Oh my God. That's actually the first one I saw was the Battle of the Somme one. And I went, you got to be joking. I'd love to get that. Wouldn't that be nice, eh? Is there anything else I wanted to show that before going off to the trenches, and you guys can help me out with it? Believe it or not, here I'll stop this screen here for a second. We'll go back to this. Believe it or not, I have started going back and reading up on reading the Great War in Africa last week or this week. And interestingly, I brought it to work this week. I didn't want to bring the infantry attacks book because to work because I was just worried about it getting wrecked a bit too much. And I was like, okay, I'll just bring it's all like the other one's already used beyond belief. However, somebody at work noticed me reading or said, "Hey, what are you reading?" And so I mentioned it to them and they were like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind reading that when you're finished." I was like, "Holy cow, you got to be joking. This is awesome to hear." So I was like, like maybe I've got somebody else to chit chat about with at work about World War I or Africa in particular. That would be awesome. And it was neat to hear, Meandering Mike, that when you were saying that when you're going to be doing the Leto Vorbeck game, that you're also going to have some additional books on World War I, obviously specific towards Africa and or East Africa, and then in general. I was like, oh, goody. So that means I can get some more from I'll have a bit of a bibliography to go and look up later. That'll be nice. And so anyways, yeah, I'm just starting to get into the German Southwest Africa. That's the next bit. I'll let you know later on what I'm finding out, but we're not going to get it. I just don't have the amount of time. If I could get rid of work, that'd be great. I mean, like I said, I could free up a third of my life and then I could devote more towards what I was doing, with these huge chunks of whatever. I just don't have enough time. But I'll let you know what's going on, how I'm progressing with finding out about Africa and whatnot. Like I said, and just starting off with the German Southwest Africa, which I didn't know anything about. And now I find out that there was, oh yeah, we have to go to the chronology and talk about that. There's a few things because one of them was from last Saturday when I was mentioning to you, Meandering Mike, that there was something about, like I said, I associate you now every time I hear about Indian troops and whatnot because of way back when you were saying that you had heard about some Indian cavalry. There was a statue or something like that somewhere in Portugal or something like that. I can't remember exactly where it was. But you had mentioned it, something about the Tigers or something. They had an interesting regiment name, the Lancer Tigers or something like that. Anyways, so I'm get back to the India thing. Am I getting sidetracked? Yes, I am. So hold on here, guys. You got to help me out here. So I am going to the trenches thing. I'm talking about the India thing. I can't remember anymore. So we got to go to the trenches thing because I can't remember. So we'll go to the the Sterling. And if you guys know what I was talking about, please remind me. So I'm going to share the screen. So it's about the trenches stuff. So I've been getting into that. Like I said, I wanted to, I know it's not a very great looking thing to look at, but I wanted you guys to be able to see like the full on text here. And I'll take a look at my notes, and maybe we'll actually take a look at one of the pictures for it. Is that where is it later on? It's here. So it's it's a combination of that the trenches are going to be obviously are going to be awesome for defense, but they're going to cause a lot of grief for movement, and it's -2 to your it costs 2 extra movement points. And there's all these weird changes later on that occurs, like as this is here, beginning in the first turn of April. Trenches that are not on the front line are removed, and so on and so forth. And you no longer have to be so worried about having an unoccupied trench anymore, and so on and so forth. I am having a bit of a difficulty with later on with this, because yet again, okay, where am I going to go? I think I may have to actually grab my notes here. Hold on, guys. Reason being, because I need to see what, or need to think about what the heck I was, that's been bothering me. So partially with it is obviously got to do with, where are we going to go? It's 2016. You can see there on the left-hand side where it says armies quickly learned how to construct simple defensive works. So as we start getting into the 19th, and I've got them written down. I've got my little, did I do a little thing for that one? No, that's for later on for the solid defense. So I'll pop that picture up later. So what I'm trying to figure out now is for later on, like this is going to be important if that's the combination of terrain, certain terrains, and later on in the years are going to more or less act kind of like just like being in a trench. And as far as I'm concerned, when it says here, defending strength points when utilizing defensive terrain, giving them right over here. I don't think you can see my arrow, but it's in 2216, giving them a -3 or better defensive die roll adjustment. As far as I know, that should mean that if we go to, I don't know if we can, hold on. I'm not going to, okay, so that's page 15. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try to jump to the end. And hopefully, okay. So we get to, and I'm going to just make it a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing there. I think you can. Good. So if it says river, -2 attacking die roll if all attacking units are across, does that mean that if I was in broken terrain and all the attacking units were across the river, that would give me a -3, give the attackers a -3 to their die roll modifier, which therefore means that would act like a trench for me. In other words, I would not have to retreat unless I had the same number or more hits inflicted on me that I do have as strength points. So it would no longer be the 1/2 or the 1/3 for certain people, such as the Austrians or the Russians. Does that make sense? So I think which means therefore this defensible terrain bonus. Let's see if I can go back to 15 without driving you guys crazy. And then I'll just go up more. There we go. Does that kind of make sense? So that means maybe that it's going to be flexible. So sometimes it's not written in stone. So that like if somebody could get across the river, therefore, you know what I mean? Therefore, that type of thing doesn't work. But it gets better as like later on. As you can see here, it says from 1916 on, you can now start getting it with a -2. So that means just Which rule number? So Meandering Mike, it's section 2216 for trenches. And that's where it says here, it says defensive terrain, giving them a -3 or better defensive die roll adjustment. That essentially acts just like a trench. So if that's the case, the way I'm looking at it, like I said, when you go to the rules here, and we'll go to that end. If I go to here, and I'll go minus a bit there. So if we go here, and broken is -1 to the die roll, and river is -2 if all the attackers are across the river. Oh, hello, Telemachus. Great to see you, man. We're just talking about trenches and seeing if, and the reason why we're talking about trenches is it's also in Der Weltkrieg, as the war, as it progresses in the war, both sides can start using defensible terrain better, and they can start. He abstracts it, saying that basically they can start figuring out how to use defensive works and whatnot into it. And so at this point in 1915, if you have a -3 die roll modifier due to terrain as an attacker, the other side essentially it acts like a trench. So no longer would they be forced to retreat, let's say 1/3 for a couple of forces like the Austrians or the Russians, or let's say half for the Germans or Brits and all that stuff. It would now be like a trench. In other words, if you had 6 strength points, the attacker would need to inflict 6 hits to force a retreat instead of 3, for example, which I think is, so that's what I'm trying to figure out is when, for example, here, we'll go back to the page rule numbering. Does that mean that, or does it mean that it's for things like rough? So you believe, so you're saying that, so I'm wrong then, Meandering Mike, you're saying? And I would love to discuss this further because I think I have a case. Which is why I'm loving this. This is why the whole point of having these things in some ways. That's why so thank you. I'm so glad that we're having this conversation. You see what I'm saying? Because it says here, when utilizing defensive terrain, giving them a -3 or better defensive die roll adjustment. You're right. I think you're right. But I'm also thinking, well, then you see what I mean? On the flip side, did they also figure out how to, shit, I don't know. Well, yeah, they'll just be, well, I'm not here yet. I'm going to start a long way to go. Oh, sorry, John Longshore. I completely missed what you were, what you popped in here. If you're free in February, there's a convention called Winterfest in Sandusky, Ohio. The times I've been there, there always was a large Der Weltkrieg game going. Would have to check the site. Yes, John Longshore. Thank you for mentioning that. And yes, I've seen that before. I can remember. Well, this is how I all started rumbling into this whole thing. Through whatever, found the counter clipping show. I was way far behind. Started listening to that primarily, actually, like a podcast. So, in a weird way, I've heard you guys' names mentioned, from Art Wolf many times. And I remember him talking about, and I also got to see one of his one of those live things there. He was doing handing out whiskey or something like that to people. Yeah, and they were saying that they played Der Weltkrieg as like a filler game or something. I was like, oh my god! But interestingly, that you also mentioned yet again, John Longshore, about that thing is I often have mentioned. Meandering Mike says, yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the same comment again. Yeah, I'll just turn this off. Maybe you guys want to look at me for a sec. Maybe not. The stream. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. As per, am I back? Not back. Yes, I am back. So you can see me a little bit. So that's kind of good. Anyways, I always think of there's this uber Der Weltkrieg player out there that can do this amazing wizardry, and he's like a grandmaster chess player kind of thing, and or her, you never know. And can see like 15 moves ahead kind of thing, and is able to just do these amazing, just have everything operating at all these amazing levels. And me just looking back going, oh my God, this is like watching a master. I often daydream about what, have this little thought in my head of seeing or finally meeting this person and going, oh my God, you're like to me, this, like a demigod kind of a person. So anyways, thank you, Meandering. Maybe tonight, if no one's on, we can talk about this audio live or whatever. Darn it. I hope you're wrong. Meandering Mike says, I had to open a window using streaking grime effect paint on some cliffs, and it is making me high. Interesting. Yeah, that's oddly enough that you mentioned that. I before I got into the modeling because of you people, Rob was mentioning that he had to constantly open the windows for his glue, and I hadn't tried any of that. Even the brush on glue, I'm like, ooh, this is a bit odd smelling, and I'm like, okay, it needs to dry quick. I'm assuming that's the thing. John Longshore says, not sure the generals at the time usually only saw the previous turn ahead. Okay, yeah, you're. Oh my God, there's. I can't wait to talk about this. Damn, this has just been such a freaking amazing. Full-on fun time to go. Okay, I'm gonna have to show you the pictures. Hold on. So we're going to stop sharing. I'm gonna have to, yeah. So we have to show the. I don't think that's it. I'm gonna kill my browser. I'm gonna make you giant sized so I can actually see you people properly. Then I'm gonna share a picture. I don't think there's anything left to show. Like I said, I'll just put everything link-wise in the sources links thing on the description if you guys want to take a look later and see. But I wanted to, it's not a great picture, I'm sorry. But it's my notes. But I want to show, hold on, I'm going to have to, I'll have to shrink it down, something fierce. Or, oh, I know what I'll have to do. Options, view, display options, and fit the image to the window. And it'll be horrible, and then I'll just go from there. And we'll try to make it a little bit bigger. But I want to go to my handwritten note thing. I just was like, look, I'm not going to get into whatever. But it's more for these interesting sliding. I know it's god-awful. Like I said, we'll go to the whatever. That was just, yeah, like I said, yet again, this is the thing Meandering Mike is saying that he thinks I've got it wrong. For example, like I was talking about here with the river, just things that I wanted to look at. Solid defense and stiffened defense. So the stiffened defense is that thing that we were just talking about, that -3 thing. The solid defense, and I'll pump this up a little bit. Here you guys can see that. So that's it. The trench marker and a minimum of 5 strength points, or the number of infantry strength points equal to a full strength infantry division. This is the funky thing that I'm finding. So it says, it mentions for each, it says for each hex side, it is attacked through in the rules. I think that's 22. Yeah, it'd be 2216. Is it necessary to be that specific? The unit is able to be, can a unit be attacked more than once in such a way that the solid defense would apply with one attack and not the other in a turn? I don't know that. So that's another thing that I would like to find out about. Aha, here's the little note. Yeah, we're not too bad for time-wise, I think. So that's just to show you what happens with that solid defense and how much artillery strength points the attacker needs to overcome the solid defense. So in 1914, you can see, no, you don't need anyone. And then 1915, and it's different by the different fronts. So you need 3 artillery strength points in the West, 2 for the Italian, and 2 in the others. And there's the other thing, strategically looking, I don't know what you guys are thinking about, is that when you start getting into, I'm thinking about demoralization points, and I'm thinking, well, why in the hell am I going to be putting, if I can truck my artillery, why the hell am I going to truck my artillery towards the West later on in the war? when I can use it more efficiently in other fronts? Are you out of your flipping tree? Like it's just I'm getting way more bang for my buck, especially if I can start nailing some side for demoralization. Like, sorry, but that's the way I'm thinking. And there it is. There's the other thing. Oh, this is it. Another one I'm having a really hard time with. And you guys do have access to the Sterling Edition rules. I think Meandering Mike has them right in front of his face. I know Charles Latora could just rip open the shrink wrap. I'm not saying do it, but you could do it. So here, this is the actual quote down there. You can see, in broken terrain, the defender enjoys a additional +2 DRM for the counterattack. So in it, it says here in section 2221, if a unit with solid defense is attacked with less than the required artillery strength points, then the following additional die roll modifiers apply. So in clear, it's -1, and then the defender gets +2. Then it says broken, but I don't know what that means. Like I put in the -1 with a question mark and the +4 with a question mark because I don't have a flipping clue, to be honest with you. That's why. Meandering Mike says they changed the countering the attack modifications for counterattacks. Sterling is less. Okay. So, but this is from the thing. So you see what I mean? I don't know what William Arends says. The games that I am hoping to bring to the table. Awesome. Get to hear what you're doing. Include Mr. President, the Russian campaign. Ooh, that's right. I forgot you had mentioned that from GMT. And I've got that upstairs, actually. No. I've got the Compass one. That's right. You've got the deluxe version. Guadalcanal from War Diary. And is that the new book? Is that the new magazine that I'm thinking of? Or am I getting that wrong? Is that the new one that is from Roy Matheson, or is that the person's name? And the Battle for Dresden. Holy crap, William Arends, you got a lot going on. Okay, I'm just bringing this back to this because that was that. So that's it. I'm trying to wrap my head around the trenches. I'd like to talk about that later on. About yet again, what the heck does this mean? I'm not there yet. I don't have to worry about it, but it's getting awfully close. About solid defense, stiffened defense. I can see your point, Meandering Mike, about it's probably specific to a straight up -3 defensive die roll modifier, and not my little trick of, oh boy, if I'm in broken terrain and behind a river, I get to act like a trench. Boy, that would be. But anyways, I'm going to start. Meandering Mike's War Diary magazine has published 1914 Deluxe and the Guadalcanal New Edition. Okay, so that's the. You had mentioned 1914 Deluxe, I do believe, or you brought it out or something like that. I'm pretty darn sure I got to see that on YouTube from someone a bit more specific that I know of, like I see more often. So I would assume someone like you. Holy crap, William Arends, that's a lot of stuff. And what about you, John Longshore and Telemachus? What the heck you got going on, man? Anyways, I'm not saying I'm calling it quits right off the bat. I've got one word left to figure out. I almost mentioned the word for the crossword. Meandering Mike says, I did an unboxing. One of the counter sheets was messed up. That's it. Because you were saying, yeah, that some people, because you specific, no, that was, no, you opened up another one later because you were worried that you potentially had that bad counter sheet, the one that was 2 fronts or something like that. And you said, thank God it wasn't the other way. It could have been the 2 backs, but you didn't have, you had the proper counter sheet for that other game. I can't remember what it was, but I think you were saying you were not going to unbox it, but then you had seen somebody complain about that unboxing. You're like, oh shoot, I better go and take a look at mine. So that's it. I think, I've got one word left for my crossword to pop up. Like I said, I'll take a look. I would love to chit chat and just do whatever, like non-entertainment wise kind of thing, like we were doing last Saturday, but I would far prefer to do less chatting. Actually, I think it was half decent. last with Mini Warmutt. Was it was doing? I think last one. I think it was pretty okay. Like where it was just an impromptu half an hour thing. Telemachus says just wandering around trying to figure out what I was planning on doing today. Well, there's the Saturday, sometimes a smorgasbord of live streams in the afternoon, whatnot too. It is, isn't it? Like 4 o'clock, you got the war room and all that stuff, and then sometimes we've got Eric's Napoleonic wargaming wargaming table or whatever. Gosh, I'm terrible with the stuff. And often get the not Jace thing at 9 o'clock, but that potentially may not happen. Find out if Hissy's going. But like I said, if you guys know, or I'll just find out, I'll just pop on. Charles, you're pretty darn good with that, letting me know. Like I said, one thing I would love to do, be able to do, but I'm not able to do that, is have the camera upstairs so I could do some airbrush. Maybe I'll bring the airbrush downstairs tonight, and I can do that on a live stream while you guys are doing your painting and Lord knows what, especially since I'm assuming all of you guys, so Telemachus, you're probably in Mini Warmutt's painting challenge for September. I know that Charles, Latora, and Meandering Mike are for sure. That's it. Yeah, I'm just going to go and still trying to wrap my head around the trench bits. I'll do I'm really having a blast with the conflict zones, getting into the strategic bits. You know what? Before we go off, I'll show you one more screen picture. I hope you don't mind. Hold on, guys. And I'll show you what I've been up to with the Western conflict zone. Well, you've seen it before with the ABCDE thing, but Telemachus, I'm committed to insanity. Yay! Well done. May hope you stay there forever. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. All right, so you guys can see that. So what I've done now is I'm just experimenting. I know it's not a great Charles Latora, 10 figures, 99% done. I know, my God, you've got like a 38 or something that you had on the thing, which is so neat to see. I'm going to put this full on. So there we go. So just to show you what I'm starting to do now, and it's really starting to help, guys, is I grabbed some of those wood hexes. Hopefully you guys can, you don't need to see it giant sized, but I'm trying different size hexes to see what they're doing. And then I went to the dollar store and grabbed some of that chalkboard sticker stuff. And I wish I had proper chalkboard pen marker stuff that I erased or whatever. So all I did was, and I went and grabbed all the, so I'm using the Second Battle of Artois. I think I've mentioned that before. Using the Second Battle of Artois order of battle thing that he did in Der Weltkrieg to find out the strength points and where people are and everything else. Color-coded the fronts for the people here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And I think someone just commented again. Meandering Mike says, this streaking game is so much more of a pain to clean up that the water-based paints or washes. The streaking grimes, sorry. Oh my gosh. And thank you, Meandering Mike, for mentioning. And William Ayers says, oh gosh, all these comments. This is awesome. I still need to start solitaire play, make contact with fellow gamers in this area, and set up the vassal system. Streams such as this help inspire my efforts. Awesome. And William Arends, you know what? Kitchener ain't that far away, really. We should figure out something funky. Maybe to do something for, I'm just saying, you never know. If you're ever in this neck of the woods, man, you do not ever have to worry about room or board. I can tell you that much. And it's not like you have to sleep with Leo or beside me on the couch. Like, I'll give you a proper place to sleep and whatnot. Charles Latora says, I bought 7 more dwarfs. Not Disney and 2 more pumpkin-headed bugbears. Ooh, bugbears. Yeah, I've never been. I'm not saying just something I've never. I've never been towards or whatever. Just never really thought about them. So there you. Hopefully, I was going to say I'll pump this up a little bit more, and I just still want to see what you guys can see. Not much, but okay, goody. And then I'll just slide it back and forth. So There. So in the area, we'll go up towards the whatever. I know it's blurry because I'm using the camcorder camera picture taker, and it's not very good. So you can see here, just this lone Belgium dude. Actually, you can't see my arrow, so I don't even know why I'm showing it. But and then so I put the separate strength points, which you can't really barely read as well. And and then each sector has the strength points total. So I'll just bring that down. So I know that, for example, there's 370 strength points, I think, for the Germans. So I was like, well, it doesn't mean it's going to be that way, but let's divide it by 5 and pop them into each sector. And now I can start, things are starting to make sense. I can start seeing things in perspective, or they're starting to contextualize or whatever. I'm like, now I can start seeing things. And then I'm like, okay, now if I want to start mounting an offensive, for example, the Metz offensive over here, well, you can't see yet again, between C and D there, towards the German D, just off to the left. If the Entente want to do there, so they have to start shaving off some strength points somewhere. Where are they going to do that from? If you know, and that way I can see that, as well as I can now see, for example, if we go towards the A sector, and if you look towards that river there as the Somme, right above the 110 for the Entente hex. I want the French want to get the Brits, those yellow hexes, to take up the rest of that area here up towards Albert, right up to the north of the Somme. Well, that's a big ask. I don't know about you, but that's basically doubling their front, for Christ's sakes. How the hell are they supposed to do that? Now, where are the reserves coming from? It's amazing to start seeing this stuff. And I'm now able to go, okay, can I abstract this front enough? And can I go back and forth? I'd like to see if I can figure out ways of, it doesn't mean I'm stuck here forever, doing one front in a certain way. I think it's great. Speaking of Disney, Meandering Mike says, Dan Pancaldi's show got blocked because he used a Disney cartoon. Those bastards. Charles Latora, now I'll have 12 for a proper unit for Dragon Rampant. Oh, cool. Charles Latora, Disney today plus woke equals garbage. Isn't there something crazy also with the happy birthday thing I've heard? Charles Latora, RuneQuest, pumpkin-headed bugbears. Okay, we're going to go because it's now 2 minutes after 11. I don't want to drive you guys nuts. And like I said, I'm just going to stop sharing, and I'll see you guys very quickly. So like I said, I'll take a look. If there's nobody on tonight, I'd love to, I'll just pop on, and it'll just be, yet again, I'll just be staring at the freaking table or whatever. But I would actually prefer to be doing a bit of painting and learning how to prime with this airbrush thing. And like I said, I'm just using it for priming. Telemachus, Jacobert. Ooh. Is that what it is? Or you're just having a good old fun time? And here we are coming towards Halloween. That's freaking me out, man. I'm already finding Halloween-oriented stuff. The only thing that ever bothers me, on a side note, guys, it's just me. I always wish they would wait till the day after. Like, can you do it like Christmas decorations, November 12th onwards? Don't do it before November 11th, man. I just find it's just me, man. I just find it distasteful. Charles Latora, Reaper, I believe this will give me a 6-piece pumpkin lesser war beast unit. Oh my God, Charles, man. Okay, we're gonna have to do some audio thing later or whatever, because I don't know what in the world you're talking about. Make Jacobert. Yes, yeah, because yeah, darn it, you guys are like, yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about anymore, and I want to know. Okay, that's it. Off I go. Have a great afternoon. Yeah, I'm gonna go do whatever's, and yet again, I want to starting to talk about more strategic-oriented stuff. Oh, and honest, like I said before, I think I mentioned it to Charles Latora, so you guys wouldn't know about it. I mentioned in one of the comments. Yes, see you later, Meandering Mike. I want to strategic bomb the living hell out of the Suez Canal. If there's any way I can plug that hole up is basically what I would love to do. That's it. Hope you guys have a great day. See you later. Bye. Thanks.